Hey everybody, this is Robots After All, and I am Tom.
I'm Andrew.
And we're here going to be talking about Moon Knight spoiler cast, talking everything Moon Knight. What do you think about Moon Knight?
I want to know what spoiler cast means because you always say that.
Spoiler cast means
like you're going to tell who the cast is. Is that
it's combining the word like podcast, I think, with spoiler, because I think that's where it originated in podcast form, and then it's been carried over to like video format as well.
All right, mystery solved.
So,
all right,
this is what we're talking about today.
What I like this topic, and I just want to dedicate this episode to our 8 subscribers. 3 subscribers
that are like all people we know.
That's correct.
Yeah.
They don't want.
In fact, I made actually 6 of those are just other accounts that I have.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes more sense because I only invited 2 people.
Exactly. Well, listen, man, we got a bunch of views on the He-Man episode. People want to hear about that one because I think it was a controversy.
Yeah, it was definitely controversial. I don't think we said anything groundbreaking or new.
No, definitely not. And by the way, when I say a lot of people watched it, like 30 people.
Right. Which might have been the same 6 people that are you just hitting play on 6.
I did log in. I went to like 6 different libraries to get different IP addresses to recognize that it was from a different view.
That is brilliant.
Yeah. And then I went around and I like say, can you just load this up for like 30 minutes? Just put it in the background while you're working. So I got a bunch of those. I think that was pretty much, it was 80% my handiwork on that one episode.
I think you've unlocked the success of this channel. So I'll leave it in your hand.
Yep, I got it figured out. I'm gonna go to more libraries. I'm gonna go across the states. I'm gonna find out.
Hurry up because libraries are disappearing. So it's a limited time strategy here.
I will say libraries are a good resource for like free stuff.
Books. Final answer.
There is a really nice, it was one of the nicest libraries. I've never seen this before, and I don't know if this is like a new thing that's been happening, but you can borrow video games.
Wow.
And I'd never seen that before. You can, huh?
What if you don't give them back?
Then they probably find you and destroy you.
Like, what if you're a bad friend to the library? You're just that friend that borrows things and doesn't give them back.
I mean, in that, I think they would fee you until you paid it back.
Right, but how many late fees actually equate to a video game value? I feel like that's...
Well, I feel like although I did hear some libraries trying to get rid of late fees in general, just to like for political reasons, people that can't afford it.
Okay, that makes sense. But that still doesn't solve the problem of things being stolen.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. Things would get stolen, and there's no way of ever tracing them back to that person. So
okay. So it would just be like a never-ending funnel of investment with the library.
And they're newer games too, like PS4. Probably not next, like the newest generation, but I saw
Moon Knight, the game.
They had a Moon Knight for sure. I don't think it's affiliated with Marvel, but so.
Is it on the NES?
Plus, you could get CDs and just burn them. Well, computers don't come with hardware. Set them on fire, baby. Five.
No late fees. I mean,
no more late fees. You can't find it. There's no late fee. It doesn't exist anymore. Well, listen, this is enough nonsense. People want to hear about Moon Knight, man. And
I don't think they do.
Where do we start?
Talk about it.
What did you think
I guess
of the outfit?
I'll start this time. So
okay, go ahead.
I feel like of the 2 of us, I probably liked it a little bit more. Maybe, I don't know, possibly.
Yeah, but I think so.
I got hooked right away. I mean, I actually just was looking for something to watch. I saw that there was a new Marvel show. I wasn't terribly excited. I really like Oscar Isaac a lot. Everything he's been in, I've enjoyed. I think he's a great actor. But as soon as I started it, even I was kind of just like, okay, like just a lot of tropes in the writing, kind of right off the bat. But I'm really a sucker for Egyptian themed kind of anything. So as soon as I started kind of diving into that, I thought it was kind of cool. And the Haro, I believe, is the character that Ethan Hawke plays. I thought his character was kind of mysterious in a way where you're like, kind of has this like good guy, bad guy vibe going on where you're not really sure where he sits. There could be a big twist at the end that he turns out to be more of a good guy than a bad guy.
Right.
So I think that they kind of set it up to start kind of raising questions that in a way that makes the show engaging and like keeps me watching. You know, a lot of shows, you know, you can kind of see the strings on, but um this show I think was really kind of captivating after the first couple of episodes, like first two episodes. So right off the bat, I really enjoyed it a lot.
Right. What did you think of the outfit when you first saw it?
So I have a few Moon Knight comics. Actually, I have the second issue from, I want to say it's the early '80s. I've had it since I was a kid. I collected all the Marvel cards and always liked Moon Knight as a character. I always thought he was kind of a cool looking.
Look, he looks cool.
Yeah. I think that I always have a hard time like when they translate into the live action. I think that I think the body part of the suit looked awesome. The face, I think, though, kind of lost a little bit of translation. Like I wish it didn't have
All the
um
wrappings.
yeah, all the wrappings. I wish it was kind of smoothed out. Kind of like when he has the Stephen Wright version.
Yeah,
Um
the wrappings they get. I get it with the body, but yeah, I agree. It's a little too much on the face. It bulks out
yeah,
a little too much.
it looks a little bizarre. It looks a little too like too noisy.
Yes. Yeah, I like the outfit. I think in general I enjoyed the show as a whole. I don't know anything about Moon Knight. I know I've seen him obviously throughout my history with the comic books, but I don't know any of his story. So it was kind of cool to go in blind and not knowing much, not really having that expectation of like, oh, are they going to do this? They're going to do that.
Right.
Are we going to see him nude, which I look forward to in most of these shows, which never
We did
happens.
get it, you know.
Um, but I think I agree with you that the Egyptian aspect of it was cool and interesting, and I wanted to hear more about that lore. I think, and I do like Isaac Newton. What's his name?
I think that's correct. Yeah. I
I do like Isaac. We're on a first name basis.
think
He was pretty
that's his
good in.
last name. Just by the way, Isaac is his last name.
Oh,
So
Oscar Isaac. That's right. Okay, thank you.
you're on the last.
We're on a last name
In fact,
basis.
why don't you just call him Mr. Isaac?
Can we delete this episode? Um, uh, what was I saying? I
You like
think
Oscar
his
Isaac?
character, like was a deterrent for me at first, just because he was. They start him off as this kind of like, oh, I'm a goofy. It's like the trope that's like
Peter Parker kind of thing.
so
Yeah.
overdone of like this having this super goofy like, oh, I messed up, oh, I'm late, and then like they introduce his next persona, and then like there's all this back and forth with him, and I think it's just I'm just a little burnt out of like the origin story of all these characters, and I think that in part um kind of like it didn't hold my excitement and attention as much as it did other shows like Hawkeye. I think that might be my top show for what they put out so far.
Yeah, I think you're onto something with the whole like I think at one point, you know, entertainment kind of assumed that you knew who the superheroes were and they just kind of went into a storyline. And then, you know, we got really into the origin story and it was like, oh, that's so cool to see where they came from. And now it's kind of like somewhat overused, but I do think that there is almost like a rite of passage whenever they introduce a new superhero character into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They have to kind of show that backstory of where they came from.
Yeah.
So it's okay, but yeah, I mean, I kind of wish that they would kind of treat the audience um, to just kind of throwing you into the world, build the world around kind of current storytelling, and then pepper in some of the past, you know, throughout the series. But six
Yeah.
episodes at 40 minutes is just not enough time to really do
Yeah.
anything substantial.
And I mean, I don't mind hearing an origin story, but I think it was more of just the character I found slightly annoying at times,
Yeah.
and I didn't.
Once you get to know him, though, he's pretty charming. Stephen Wright is pretty charming, and then once you actually see why he exists in the first place, I think he actually gets another dimension of charm.
Yes, and that yes, yeah, that was like the big kind of thing with which made me appreciate the character a little bit more and not be as like it was just like a cool how they introduced like how that was like a personality he created to deal with like that trauma that he went through. And
not to derail, but I'm going to. Can we call it Podlers instead of SpoilerCast?
Podlers?
Yeah. Like
so like
cast spoilers, Podlers. I want to coin that.
Combining the front word.
Well, the SpoilerCast is basically spoilers and podcast, right? So this would just be podcasts and spoilers, Podlers. I think it's catchy.
Postlers. Podlers.
You hate it. I can tell. It's fine. It's fine.
We can try it out. Nobody's gonna know what it means, but we'll do it. We'll put it up there.
I think we need to, be the new trendsetters on this.
Yeah, let's get it trending. Hashtag Podlers. Let's do it.
Okay.
Get it up there. I'll tweet it. So I expect a lot of retweets in the future. So please go ahead and do that.
And if it doesn't work out, Elon Musk has made it so we can actually edit tweets now. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can already feel our lives getting better.
You can edit tweets now?
I mean,
could you not before?
No, I don't think so. Because then somebody could retweet it, and then if you edited it, it wouldn't be in sync with the retweet, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you can get 5 Funko Pop Moon Knight figures for $55 right now.
Are they like all different?
You get Layla, Harrow, Khonshu, what's his name? Khonshu, Mr. Knight, the suit version of Moon Knight, and then
that's Mr. Knight.
I guess his name is Mr. Knight. I don't know. And then the bandaged one. So if you want
to be Moon Right, that's what they should call him.
Moon Right. You got Moon Right and then Moon Wrong.
But yeah, to your point, I mean, when he comes in, you're kind of like, okay, he's a doofus, like, he's like bumbling at work and nobody likes him, which is also kind of stupid too, that like everybody at work hates him.
Well, that's the thing. That's what killed it for me. It's like everybody's annoyed with him. Oh, I missed this date. It's like, oh, woe is me. I'm the guy that I'm going to be a hero now, or I am already a hero and I just don't know it. So it's just,
yeah,
it was hard to get through. And then when I saw the hippo, did you see in like the gift shop when he's like doing inventory in the first episode, I think?
Oh yeah.
They have the blue hippos lined up. Yeah. I was like, oh, I painted that, gave it to you.
Yeah, that's the one. I thought the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like it kind of picks up from there though, once you start seeing I forgot his name, Mark. Once Mark starts kind of coming into the picture, I feel like the storyline kind of starts to pick up, and like you start to kind of see more action. And like I thought the whole scene with the jackal in the museum was kind of cool. How he's like fighting the jackal and it's like invisible and tries to show the security guard guy.
Yeah, why was it that only he could see those?
Well, that's like kind of I think an important point is I think with all the stuff that has to do with the Egyptian gods, like only certain people can see them. So like even when at the very end, when the gods are like fighting, I don't think that everybody in like the city could see.
Right.
Would be just
the Power Ranger form.
Yeah.
Power up.
But yeah, I feel like they really started to kind of build up towards something. I binge watched the first 5 episodes kind of all in one day. So
yeah, that was mad, man. I don't know how you do that.
It was just like, well, just watching the kid.
Right.
But I was like really hyped up on it. And then when we got to episode 6, I feel like I was really like, roaring for a crescendo ending. And I just kind of felt like there were some moments that were epic and like, like the gods fighting and stuff, but I feel like it kind of petered out toward the end of that. What was your thoughts on that?
The finale, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think the whole leading up from the psych ward episode, like scenario, and the fact that his power is like he's able to disable all the other gods like instantly was kind of weird to me. And I was never really excited about it, and the show in general. So it was when I saw the ending, I was like, all right, it's ending, and there's some stuff happening. There's some fun action scenes, and we get to see Layla get her avatar,
Yeah, that was
which
kind of cool.
is cool. I like her wings. She's badass, and I'd love seeing her in a show because that'd be cool. And yeah, I don't know. All of it was a little underwhelming to me. And the reveal of another persona or another personality, what was his name? Jake or something?
Yeah, they actually hinted him earlier in the show, in like one of the earlier episodes. I don't know which one, but there's a
Spectre.
time when like they neither one of them know who did what, and then they kind of just like gloss over that, and then you don't actually get the reveal until the end.
Oh, interesting. I missed that. Yeah. Well, even that reveal, I wasn't super stoked on. I just was like, okay, there's
Another
another guy,
person.
and he's super dark, and he's super violent, ultra
Yeah.
violent.
See,
Mark
I
doesn't.
actually did. I liked that because I think it allowed us as the audience to kind of humanize Mark a little bit. Like, there's all this. Well, there's one kind of thing that's not wrapped up around Mark being present when Layla's father gets killed, and now I wonder if it was like Jake that did it rather than him. Like he was there, but he wasn't there, kind of thing. I'm not sure like what's going on with that, but I feel like you've got Stephen Wright, who's kind of like this innocent, you know, innocent character that you kind of 100% empathize with, aside from maybe him being a little bit annoying. Then you've got Mark, and he's kind of like, he's the kind of driving the story forward, and like, he's actually Moon Knight. It's kind of who you think of as actually Moon Knight. And then Jake is kind of that like scapegoat to allow it to forgive. Oh, am I boring you, Captain Yanni?
I was trying to hide it.
I don't know if you know this, but you're on camera. Yeah, let's let it out now. Just let
I'm
it just let it
tired.
um but yeah, Jake allows the audience to basically kind of forgive Mark for maybe some of the more violent things that he's done, because it was probably Jake more so than Mark. So
Right.
I thought it was kind of cool.
And was Mark last name Spectre?
Yeah,
Mark Spectre. And what is Jake's last name? Also Spectre?
I don't think they got into that. He's just Jake.
Well, why was the license plate on the limo, whatever, Mark Spector and not Jake?
I don't know.
On the license plate,
Yeah,
did you see that? On the license plate, the letters are like separated to spell out his name or whatever. I don't know.
yeah.
And then the fact that Conchu is in a suit and it's just this giant skeleton. I'm like, what?
I liked Conchu a lot. I thought he was pretty funny.
Conchu was great. I love Conchu. I love the gods in general, especially I love seeing the alligator god, but the only thing I was thinking about was how is she able to talk? Because she's an alligator mouth.
Oh,
And then you
yeah.
see like they try to make it look like there would be a talking alligator mouth, but I mean that's not possible.
I thought the whole idea of the avatars was really cool. And that whole kind of chamber inside the Pyramid of Giza um, was a pretty cool idea. The statues being kind of a form of imprisonment was kind of weird because they were all just kind of just on a shelf somewhere. So it's like
That was odd.
it's not like it was like I almost you would think that they would be like, okay, we're gonna like imprison him, and then like they even if they chose to just put him into a little statue, which is like, isn't that how they imprisoned the kids in Ernest Scared Stupid with the troll? Just like turned them into like little wooden dolls and put them in the
Oh
tree.
gosh, yeah. That's a throwback. And
Yeah,
couldn't she just like smash them all and like free
right.
them all?
Well, oh yeah, they would all gotten freed. So, but who knows? The thing that I was thinking about when I was thinking about that concept is like, it's very clear that certain gods have certain agendas. So, certain ones might be on her side versus other ones might have their own agenda. So it's like you can't just, you know what I mean? Like I thought that was kind of
Yeah,
that kind of idea was safe in the fact that you don't really know who the gods were and like which ones would have
that's
her
true.
back versus, but clearly, oh, whatever, doesn't matter.
Well, the Egyptian stuff was cool. Moon Knight's still going to be around. Who knows if they'll include him in something else.
I feel like they
But
always like to tie these things together, but I thought it was a little weird that there wasn't like a multiverse tie-in or something
yeah,
that
that's
like
true. They didn't try to put anybody else in there. Although I don't think they did that in Loki either, did they? They just, I think it was center
well,
focus.
Loki is where the source of the whole multiverse thing came from.
Right. I guess that's true.
So it's more Hawkeye, I think, that didn't have a tie-in to anything, right?
Maybe not. Well, they had spoiler alert. They had the Kingpin and
Oh, that's right. They tied into Daredevil. That's right.
yeah, and they had Daredevil, I think, briefly in it.
I think Daredevil was in No Way Home, Spider-Man.
Yes, which was kind of exciting. You're like, oh, cool, dude.
That was a great show.
No Way Home.
Daredevil, greater than Moon Knight.
Yeah, Daredevil. All of those Netflix ones were amazing. I liked all of them, even though some of them were weaker than others. Like Punisher, I friggin' loved. Iron Fist got picked up in the second season, in my opinion. Jessica James was fun. Luke Cage was good. They're all
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones, sorry. Jessica James. Who the heck is that? By the way, I got a 10-minute warning for this thing to end. So now we only have 7 minutes.
I see that. There's a countdown.
Yeah.
You gotta wrap up.
I guess we don't have unlimited version anymore. So
that's funny.
Yeah, we got 7 more minutes. What are we going to talk about?
I don't know.
What's left on Moon Knight? I would like to see a spinoff with Layla's character, whatever she is, her hawk powers.
Golden Scarab or whatever she was.
Yeah, I don't even know who gave her the avatar. I had a link over.
The person who was steering the boat and the ship of the
hippo person did?
Yeah, it was her.
Tawaret. Oh, I didn't realize. And then she mentioned something about her father. So her father must have been.
Oh yeah, and again, like I think maybe they're leaving that open for season 2, but they didn't really wrap that up nicely. And the whole thing with Mark, like the fact that she gets so upset about finding out about Mark being present when her dad dies, and then at the end they're just like friends.
Yeah,
missed you. You were dead.
Teammates.
Yeah,
we will fight Harrow together. By the way, I guess Harrow was a Moon Knight, so he has some moves, but it seemed like he was too capable in that form of like fending himself.
What do you mean?
Well, Harrow was Khonshu's original, was a Moon Knight avatar, but like in the last scene they're fighting and it seems like he's like a little too capable to hold his own. I know he's got the magic staff, but
yeah, I thought he was mostly using that. No,
he was, but it's also like,
are you being ageist? Is it because he's old? Is that what you have a problem with him, because he's gray and feeble and uses a cane?
Yes. I hate age.
Yeah. Do you hate old people?
Hate them. Hate old man. No, I don't know. I just figured like he wouldn't have because you don't really see him do anything else other than like wave that wand around and read people's balance beams.
He's kind of like Yoda, he's kind of constantly stoic and just kind of like hobbling around on a cane, and he's like, but I actually have the power.
It's like Star Wars Episode 2 Yoda, where he busts out all those moves against Count Dooku.
Yes, exactly like that. Except he had glass in his slippers, so the entire time.
Huh?
Do you not remember
Wizard of Oz?
Yes, the Wizard of Oz. That's the correct answer. No, in the very, very first episode, they show Ethan Hawke's character breaking a bunch of glass, putting it in his slippers, and then putting his.
Oh gosh, I forgot about that. What the hell?
That's why he's bleeding at the very end. When he's walking away, it was to show that like he had blood feet.
Yeah, but why was he doing that? And why
That's
was
like,
he?
I think that was, it was like a penance kind of thing, like trying to, or like an atonement type thing for his sins or
I'm
crimes
still a
or
little
whatever.
confused about the psych ward thing. If that was so, with him showing his feet bleeding, was that like supposed to be his psych ward at that point? I don't know.
Well, so yeah, I don't. So the first time is just their way to create like a world where they could kind of balance their scales in a world that would actually like make sense for them to kind of perceive. Um, and Tawaret like explains that, but in the very end, that was a little confusing to me because he goes back there and you're like, oh, was this all in fact just like an imagination? And they're like, no, just kidding, it's still not an imagination. And then he wakes up. So I'm assuming that the second time he was just dreaming, and
Hmm,
then he wakes up.
hmm,
But
interesting.
that cut to that was like very abrupt. And there's a few moments in the show where they just kind of abruptly were just like, everybody's dead. Okay, next scene.
Yeah.
He's like cut the stuff where it's just like, oh, he killed all the avatars. Like Haro just kills everybody. Okay, next scene.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden that one guy is okay, I guess, and she's trying to help him. Layla's character.
Yeah, but he dies. He dies like directly after that. So he's
Yeah,
been
he's
out.
like, but he still died. It's like, what was that? Yeah,
He's
just
like, I got away, but now I'm just gonna die in this back hallway. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, I don't know.
so
It,
much death.
some of it was like, I think, executed well for the premise. They, I was thinking about it as I was watching it. Like, what makes these shows kind of universally accepted, and kind of more of a for a wider audience is like the good human storytelling, and like they did a really good job like showing why Mark split his personality when he was younger. Um, and that whole, I think it was all episode 5 where they did all that. Like that whole episode was like epic. But I find that like they like had that in their back pocket and they like used it. And then once they used it, they were kind of out of ammo. Like they didn't really have, I don't know. Like even like I was excited to see Osiris and they didn't really show Osiris at all. Like they
Oh
show
yeah.
them going through the gates that Osiris opened, and I thought like Osiris would show up or something. Nope, nothing. Also, how are they so close to that door? Like they show this like scene
I
where,
know. I don't even know where that door came from.
well, they were sailing to that door. They turned
Yeah.
the ship around and they were sailing to that door to get back to like the Earth realm, whatever. And then Stephen falls off in like the middle of the desert, and they still hadn't gotten anywhere near the
Yeah.
door. And then
That's
he
what was
jumps off the boat and he's like, Steven, he's like 30 yards away. It's
yeah,
like
he's like
you
in
guys
the
have like sailed like miles and it was just randomly somewhere in the desert. It wasn't like a straight line.
yeah.
And then not only did they kind of stretch that where it's like, okay, he's right there, but then also the door was right there. So it was just like ultra unbelievable.
Yep. Well, that's Moon Knight, everybody. Is this thing gonna shut down after a minute? It says less than a minute. Is it just
Um,
stopped?
yeah, it'll just cut off.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody.
See you next time.
Take care and stay tuned for more exciting content. I don't care about Moon Knight, and I don't care about season 2.
Sounds good.
Obi-Wan's coming out soon.
That's exciting. The fourth was not with me. I didn't watch anything Star Wars related.
Oh, Mandalorian.